If you knew that your transformation would cost you your comfort, would you still chase it? If you understood that greatness is purchased with pain, with isolation, with sacrifice, would you still claim it as your goal? The majority of people say they want change, but what they really want is relief. They want ease. They want breakthrough without breakdown. That's why they stay the same. Let me tell you the truth as plainly as I know how to say it. No one is coming to rescue you. No one is going to pull you up from mediocrity. No one is going to hand you discipline or vision or courage. These are internal decisions. They must be forced into place by the only person who can do it, you. You can read all the books, listen to all the teachings, sit in every room, surround yourself with high achievers, and still be paralyzed. Because until you make the decision to transform your thinking, your behavior, and your environment, nothing changes. Transformation is not accidental. It is not passive. It is a fight, a daily battle against who you've been and who you've tolerated being. It is not about tweaking a few habits. It is about becoming someone new. And becoming someone new will feel like dying, because part of you has to. The lazy part, the blaming part, the scared part, the comfortable, complaining, maybe tomorrow version of you has to be destroyed. Not managed, not pacified, not ignored, destroyed. Or else it will rise again, stronger, louder, more convincing. You think this is dramatic? Then you haven't changed anything yet. Because real transformation is war. You will lose sleep. You will feel alone. You will want to quit. You will doubt yourself. You will be misunderstood. You will be laughed at, judged, and questioned. And none of it matters. Because if you stay the same, you lose anyway. This is the price, and you must pay it in full. Not with money, with decisions, with discipline, with delayed gratification, with long hours and repeated actions and silence when no one sees you grinding. You will become unfamiliar to those who knew the old you. And that's okay, because you're not doing this for applause. You're doing it because you're done lying to yourself, done pretending you're fine when you're not. Done settling for good enough. Done excusing your inconsistency. Done watching others live the life you keep saying you want. So what do? You force the transformation. You don't wait to feel ready. You move anyway. You don't wait for motivation. You build systems. You don't depend on support. You support yourself. You become the person who can no longer be denied. This starts with your morning. Every single day you rise with a decision. Will I lead or will I drift? The first hour of your day is the foundation of your identity. If you begin your morning in distraction and reaction and consumption, you are already playing from behind. But if you begin in silence, in discipline, in clarity, your mind starts to obey you. Speak to yourself with intention. Declare who you are, not based on who you've been, but who you're choosing to become. Say it. I am not average. I am focused. I am dangerous to my excuses. I am the architect of my future. I act without emotion. I execute without excuse. Repetition creates belief, and belief transforms identity. Identity drives behavior. Behavior builds results, and results reinforce belief. This is the cycle, but it starts with what you say. If you keep speaking like the old you, you will keep living like the old you. Language is not decoration, it is direction. And after you've spoken, move. Do not wait to feel inspired. The world doesn't care how you feel. It rewards what you do. Show up, even if you're tired. Even if no one claps. Even if progress feels slow. Even if your mind screams to stop. Show up. That's how you break the cycle. That's how you build momentum. That's how you earn your own respect. Forget what other people think. They're watching from the sidelines. You're in the fight. Their opinion is irrelevant. They don't know the war you're in. The war with your old self. The war with your limitations. The war with your environment. And if they mock you, it's because you remind them of what they're not doing. Let them talk. You transform. Transformation demands decisions, not intentions, not vague hopes. Decisions. Decide to delete what's distracting you. Decide to remove yourself from environments that pull you backward. Decide to say no when it's easier to say yes. Decide to keep your word even when no one is watching. There is no path to success without discomfort. There is no growth without confrontation. You must confront your laziness, your procrastination, your addiction to comfort, your craving for approval, your fear of change. You cannot negotiate with these things. You must destroy them, because they will destroy you if you don't. And listen carefully. This is your job, not your coach's, not your friends, not your mentors. Yours. They can guide you. They can challenge you, but they cannot do it for you. This is your life, your time, your decision. You are either the builder or the blamer, the creator or the complainer. There is no in-between. Success is not mysterious. It is structured, predictable, but it is also demanding. It will cost you more than you want to pay. It will take longer than you think. It will ask more of you than you feel ready to give. But if you stay the course, if you keep building brick by brick, you will wake up one day unrecognizable to the man you used to be. And that is the goal, to become someone who no longer fits in the life you once tolerated, someone who is repelled by small thinking, someone who is allergic to excuses, someone who is obsessed with growth, with truth, with alignment. Not perfect, but disciplined. Not fearless, but unshakable. Not lucky, but relentless. This is the man the world cannot ignore. But you must force his arrival. He will not appear through wishful thinking. He will not show up just because you read the right book. He must be built. And that means doing the hard thing. Over and over again, until the old you breaks, until weakness is replaced with strength, until you no longer recognize the man who used to avoid hard conversations, hard work, hard truths. You are not owed transformation. You must claim it with pain, with pressure, with practice. And when your mind tells you to quit, you remind it, we don't quit anymore. We finish. We follow through. We show up no matter how we feel. Because this is no longer a preference, it is who we are. Transformation does not wait for the ideal moment. It does not begin when the stress goes away, when the weather clears, or when others finally support you. It begins the moment you take full command of your inner world. Most men delay transformation because they believe circumstances must improve before they act. But circumstances are irrelevant to the man who has made an irrevocable decision. The moment you say no more, your life begins to shift. There is a force in this universe that meets you at the point of decision. But it does not engage with hesitation. It does not reward halfway commitments. The cosmic habit force operates with precision. It organizes your environment, your thoughts, your direction around your dominating purpose. But that purpose must be burned into your heart, not lightly scribbled into a journal. If you truly want to transform, you must identify the exact outcome you are willing to suffer for. That's the question. What are you willing to suffer for? Because transformation is not painless. It requires you to sacrifice your excuses, your comfort, your self-pity, and your false identity. It requires you to say, I will endure whatever this costs because the man I'm becoming is worth the pain it takes to meet him. And that declaration, it must be followed by action. Not once. Daily. Transformation is not a decision you make once. It is a decision you make every hour. When you're tired, when you're triggered, when you want to stop, that is when transformation happens, not during your highs, but during your lows. You must build new mental architecture. Tear down the scaffolding of your old thought patterns. Remove the bricks of victimhood, dependency, and comparison, and lay a new foundation: self-respect, discipline, integrity, and vision. These are the inner materials of transformation. No one sees them being installed, but when the building is complete, everyone notices. Do not expect applause in the early stages. There is no clapping when you decide to rise at 4 a.m. to rewrite your identity. There is no celebration when you walk away from gossip, from entertainment, from distraction. There is no audience when you sit in silence and ask yourself the hard questions. The work of transformation is private, thankless, unglamorous. But one day, results arrive. And results speak louder than intentions ever will. You must be ruthless with the parts of you that resist growth. The part that says, just this once. The part that says you've done enough today. The part that says, this is too hard. Every time you surrender to that voice, you give strength to the very force trying to keep you small. And I tell you plainly, that voice must be defeated. Not reasoned with. Not negotiated with. Defeated. This is the real work, not the external tasks, not the to-do lists, but the daily battle with your own lower self. The one who seeks comfort, avoids truth, craves distraction. You must wake up each day with a sword in your mind and say, not today, not ever again. People often ask me, what's the fastest path to success? And I tell them there is no fast path. There is only alignment. When your thoughts align with your words, and your words align with your actions, and your actions align with your values, you become unstoppable. Most men are misaligned. They say one thing and do another. They make promises they never intend to keep. They crave respect they haven't earned, and this misalignment creates internal chaos. Alignment brings power, and power creates change. So ask yourself, are you living in alignment? Are your daily actions reflective of the man you claim you want to be? Or are you still hoping that transformation will find you without you first taking full ownership of your conduct? Responsibility is the birthplace of transformation. You must look at your life, every corner, and say, this is mine, all of it. The chaos, the failure, the excuses, the patterns, the wasted time, the half-hearted effort. You built it. And if you built it, you can rebuild it. But you cannot rebuild what you do not own. The weak man blames. The strong man owns, even when it hurts, even when it means admitting you've been operating below your standards. That honesty is not punishment, it is liberation. Because the moment you accept that you are the problem, you also accept that you are the solution. There is freedom in that. You don't have to wait for anyone to change. You don't have to beg for support. You don't have to depend on luck, timing, or talent. You have the power to change everything, starting with yourself. And you must, because no one will do it for you. Understand this. The world doesn't care about your goals. It doesn't care about your dreams. It doesn't owe you recognition or reward. You must earn that through action, through persistence, through resolve. You must force the transformation so completely that the man you once were can never return. And what a fear it will show up. Every day, fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of judgment, fear of change. But fear is not a command, it is a signal. And the correct response is not retreat, it is action. Do it scared. Do it uncertain. Do it anyway. You cannot think your way into confidence. You act your way into it. Every time you do what you said you'd do, your confidence rises. Every time you move, despite fear, Your self-respect strengthens. And every time you conquer the small battles, you prepare yourself for the larger ones. Discipline is the anchor, not motivation, not inspiration. Discipline. And discipline is not about perfection. It's about consistency. Missing one day doesn't ruin your transformation, but justifying it does. Slipping isn't fatal. Quitting island. And so you must build systems that support the man you are becoming. Your calendar should reflect your priorities. Your environment should support your standards. Your conversations should reinforce your values. If anything contradicts the transformation you seek, cut it. Ruthlessly, without apology, because your future is too valuable to bargain with distractions. Every man has two lives, the one he's living and the one he's capable of living. The gap between the two is created by fear, comfort, and procrastination. And the only way to close that gap is to take radical ownership and act with relentless consistency. That is what it means to force the transformation. It is not a slogan. It is a way of life. It is waking up every day with fire in your mind and steel in your spine. It is telling the truth when lying would be easier. It is walking away when staying would feel safer. It is choosing hard now so that life becomes easier later. It is choosing structure over chaos, vision over comfort, sacrifice over indulgence. This is how you separate yourself. Not with noise, but with quiet, determined, disciplined action. Every man is given a choice. Either remain loyal to the weaker version of himself or commit without compromise to the higher version that demands more, costs more, and gives more. This choice, though simple, is where most fall, because the weaker self is familiar, comfortable, predictable, but make no mistake, he is your enemy. The weaker you does not want freedom. He wants escape. He wants the illusion of peace, not the price of growth. If you are to transform, you must become the executioner of that version. You must starve him of attention, silence his excuses, deny him access to your thoughts, your time, your energy, because he will not go quietly. He will bargain. He will beg. He will tell you that just a little compromise won't hurt. He will use logic, emotion, nostalgia, but you must not listen. You must kill your comfort with clarity. What is clarity? It is the refusal to be vague about your vision. It is the decision to know who you are, what you want, and what it will take. The transformed man has no time for ambiguity. He knows exactly what aligns and exactly what doesn't. And if it doesn't align, it's out. You want to see change? Then stop making excuses for what no longer belongs in your life. You cannot transform while tolerating disorder. You cannot elevate while entertaining distractions. You cannot evolve while explaining your delay. The man who transforms is the man who acts, not once, but daily. He is not concerned with results in the beginning. He knows those come later. He is obsessed with alignment. His thoughts, his environment, his routine, his diet, his speech, all of it serves his vision. Not some of it, all of it. Do not make the mistake of thinking transformation is about one big decision. It's not. It's about thousands of small, invisible, uncelebrated ones, choosing silence over chaos, action over procrastination, reading over scrolling, discipline over desire, over and over again, until the old life can no longer survive in the new you. This is how a man becomes untouchable. Not by pretending to be strong, but by proving it daily in the dark. Strength is built in struggle. Character is forged in pressure. You think your obstacles are in the way? They are the way. They're not distractions. They are assignments. Custom built by life to test your will, your patience, your hunger. Most men curse their trials. Transformed men use them. You say life is hard, good. Then you are being given an opportunity to develop the traits that only hardship can birth. Grit, fortitude, focus, self-control. These are not given, they are earned. And they are earned in the mud, in the fire, in the silence when no one's watching and your emotions scream for escape. Escape is the language of the untransformed. Stay is the mantra of the relentless. Stay in the fire. Stay in the plan. Stay in alignment. Do not abandon the path just because the process hurts. Of course it hurts. It's supposed to. You are undergoing the death of everything that no longer serves your highest self. Do not romanticize the past. Do not mourn who you used to be. That man served you until he didn't. Honor him by moving forward. Do not carry his excuses into the future. You are not rebuilding him. You are replacing him. And remember this truth. Most people will never do this. Not because they can't, but because they won't. They will spend their lives justifying their stagnation, excusing their patterns, and blaming their environment. That is not your path. You are not most people. You are the few, the uncommon, the one who chooses hard on purpose. You don't need permission to go higher. You don't need applause. You need decision, conviction, and the discipline to walk that decision out every day, whether you feel like it or not. Feelings don't run your life, principles do. You don't ask your emotions how to behave. You instruct them. You command your mind with vision. You direct your body with standards. You rule your time with boundaries. This is the discipline of transformation. It is not glamorous. It is not popular. But it is the only path that leads to greatness. And make no mistake, you are meant for greatness, not by accident, not by luck, but by birthright. You are not here to blend in. You are not here to be acceptable, polite, passive, or tolerated. You are here to rise, to lead, to build, to become, but only if you force the transformation. You cannot wait for life to give you the green light. You create the green light. You go. You build. You act. Even when the road is unclear. Even when you don't know what's coming next. Because movement breeds clarity. Stagnation breeds confusion. And confusion, left unchecked, becomes identity. Don't let it. Do not let doubt become your dominant voice. Do not let delay become your default behavior. Do not let weakness become your brand. Your future self is watching, waiting, not for you to feel good, but for you to take the reins and move. No matter how small the step, no matter how uncertain the path, no matter how tired you feel, move. Refuse to stay stuck. Refuse to justify inaction. Refuse to let one bad hour ruin a whole day. Refuse to let one mistake become your story. You are not what happened to you. You are what you decide to become after it. Rebuild yourself from the ground up. But this time, do it on purpose. Do it with structure. Do it with conviction. Design a life that doesn't require escape. Create habits that serve your mission. Build relationships that reinforce your values. This is your responsibility. And if that sounds overwhelming,